All right, so now we're going to be doing the titration of the reaction mixture. So what we're going to be doing here is trying to find out how many moles of acid have been unreacted. Subtracting this from the total moles of acid will give us the moles of acid reacted. Again, this is going to be crucial in the ratio of the reaction that we're looking at. Okay, so I have my reaction flask here from trial 1. Ooh, pardon me. I'm going to add my indicator. And just to let you know, the molarity of my sodium hydroxide that I'm titrating with is 0.6961 moles. Okay, so to my titration flask, I'm going to add 10 drops of bromothiamyl blue. You'll notice the solution is yellow, and we're going to be looking at the color change from yellow to blue. I'm going to have my starting volume at 0.00 milliliters. And I'll write that out for you. So this is going to be trial 1. And this is going to be the initial volume. Is going to be 0.00 milliliters. So I'm going to go ahead and titrate this now, and I'll have a squirt bottle handy to squirt down the sides periodically to make sure that we have everything reacted. Awesome. So I'm going to start this. And you'll notice that our solution will begin to turn blue in the center. See that there, the blue? Give this a swirl and it will react. So again, we're seeing that blue right in the center there, because that's where all the base is concentrating. That's where it's indicating that the pH is not acidic. So I'm going to keep going. You'll start to see the yellow go to green as we reach our endpoint. We're looking for the solution to be totally blue, so I'm hoping we'll be able to get it within a drop. As we get closer to the endpoint, you'll know the blue is lingering more. It's because there's less acid in there available to react. So you can see that very prominent blue starting to linger. It's down the sides. Again, the water is irrelevant because we still have our moles of HCl that are being reacted. right now I'm at about 34 mils. And I think we're almost there. See if I can get it by the drop. Oh, very close. Okay. So that's getting pretty close right now. So I'm at 34.90. Will be 35. We'll see. I think this might be it. Wow. Excellent. So I've reached that. So trial 1, your volume is going to be, actually now we can see that that's fading, going to the green. So we're very close here, and you can see that we're going to have this fluctuating color that we're so close. So we did this pretty good. I'm going to rinse down the sides, see if this helps. Can probably do one more for good measure. One. And there's the blue. All right, that's awesome. Let's call that 34.95 milliliters. So the final volume for trial 1, 34.95 milliliters. Awesome. So we're going to go to trial 2. And our initial volume, because this is a 50 milliliter burette, and I used 35, almost 35 milliliters, I'm going to fill this right back up to the top. Okay, so the initial volume for this guy is going to be 0. So I'm going to do that real quick and then titrate our other flask. So this is really going well. This here to catch any extra base. So I'm just refilling my burette with my 0.6961 molar sodium hydroxide. Just get this to 0. Excellent. Great. I'm going to rinse down my flask for reaction 2. Add my bromothymol blue indicator, about 10 drops. Excellent. So again, initial volume is 0. And let that go. So now that I have an idea of where my titration endpoint will be, I can zip right down. So I'm going to zip down to like 30, I'd say. And we'll start to see our bromothymol blue begin to change there. I'm at 22 mils now, 23, 24. I'm going to stop, just give it a swirl. Every 2 or 3 mils. So this is really cool because once we start doing the titrations and getting them going, they can be really quick if we know our endpoint of the initial reaction. I can gauge this based on the weight of my calcium used. And since these are almost the same, I should have a very similar endpoint. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm at 32 right now. Rinse the sides. $33-ish. 33.5. All right, we're getting there now, definitely. Just turn this so you can see. As of right now, I'm at about 34.5. Very close. 34.7, I'd say. Look at that. So you can see that's going back really quick now to the yellow. So I think I can do much better. Remember, we're trying to achieve that. So let's see. So let's see, I'm at 34.8. Maybe one more drop will do the trick. Awesome. I think that's stable. So for trial 2, our final volume is 34.90 milliliters. And that is my final volume. That concludes the experimental for this lab. Now what we're going to do is use this data to calculate the number of moles of HCl that we have reacted. From this, we'll get a ratio comparing our moles of acid reacted to the moles of metal used.